Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PJ and the Beard. This is our 19 conversation series. This is episode 48, an hour of distraction. Looks like we've got some people here already. Paul got his front row seat. Congratulations. That's a tough seat to get. Brody, sitting in the second row. Brian Randrith is here. David Barber is here. The early crew, Brody, Pete Hickson in the house. Pete, we're going to talk about your pedal board here at some point. So cool. Welcome, guys.
And I am going without the headset today, and I trust that you all will give us feedback about my audio quality like you did yesterday, which was helpful because I was using a different set of headphones. So,
yeah, so if he sounds better with the headphones in, tell him.
Yeah, I'll do nothing about it. No, if they do, I'll put them in. That's what I would try. I feel like we tried it once. I can't remember what the result was, but we don't have a guest today. I figured I'll try to be free range and see what happens. But
so, where are we starting today? We're starting with a clip?
Yeah. So, you said clip, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm the one like, hey, let's go without headphones. What'd you say? So, part of the clip, okay, he's saying it's distant again. Let me just solve that right up front. Let me introduce the clip, and then I'll do this if I have to come in and out. Part of the clip of the day was, hey, let's maybe introduce you all to somebody that maybe we think is a lesser known player, or someone from Jason or from me, or sometimes it's hey, this is a player from the pedal manufacturer's family, the amp builder, whatever. Now we're back to here's someone that maybe you know played guitar and maybe you don't know that they played guitar. So this would be someone that you know them from another way, but maybe didn't know they played guitar. So there's your worst setup ever. I'm going to put my headphones in. Jason's going to roll the clip.
All right, here we go.
The tall, talented, and ever lanky Conan O'Brien.
So my question.
Uh-oh. Maggie. I just lost everybody.
Are you there?
I'm here now, but there are people who are saying it froze up. It froze up on my end too.
Yeah, I got kicked out. Are we live again?
It says we are. I think you have. Yeah, wow, you're in there twice. You're double Hollywood Squares. There you go.
I don't think I can kick myself out, so we'll just do that. Is that wow? We have two.
Yeah, we have.
Well, there's been worse things that have happened.
That's right. Yeah,
there's been better too.
So you started to say, I have a question, and that's all I heard, and then you broke the internet.
Is that guy that was behind Conan, is that the guy on Instagram, or does he play with another late night show?
I feel like he's with Conan. The Vinny, or what his name is. The guy's always wearing maybe he's wearing a fedora.
Well, he's wearing like a bathrobe all the time. Right? Everyone wears a bathrobe.
I feel like he's the guy from the Conan O'Brien's shows band, I think.
In the chat, we have a question for you today.
First of all, can you hear us?
Is the guy on let's see who knows. Is the guy on Instagram that wears the bathroom and does like a 1-minute version of a song every day? Is he from Conan's show or is he from another late night show? Because I just found out about this guy through that.
Right.
He's freaking awesome. Some of the stuff he puts out is incredible. So if nobody knows, if nobody answers that, I think he'll be our clip of the day tomorrow.
Nice. So anyway, that was kind of down that path of like, there's other celebrities that play guitar that maybe you'll find. And there was another clip of Conan O'Brien and Jack Black doing like a guitar duo. And Conan was really playing, but at the end, his playing got really good and they pulled the curtain back and it was Slash. So I figured that. Jimmy Vivino, yes, Conan is what Magic Matt is saying. Don't do Insta and don't get Conan.
Now, worth going to Instagram and looking up Jimmy Vivino. Yeah. It really is. I mean, the guy's putting out some killer stuff. What a player. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and I think he's been with Conan since the beginning. I think I went to his website and was reading that he had been on the Late Show or whatever it is since the beginning. He's been with him the whole time. If those two have developed a friendship, it's no doubt. I mean, Conan should be a better player.
And mostly you see Conan playing acoustic or, I thought that was the best clip I could find of Conan, honestly. Like, I'm like, that's some pretty good playing for Conan or maybe even a little bit otherwise. Because he's got he's got that nervous vibrato sometimes, people who play, he's better at acoustic player. But anyway, this wasn't here to flame Conan, but I just thought, well, there's somebody that maybe you did or didn't know play guitar, and we'll smatter those in as time goes on.
What a great band to get to sit in with, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
David Barber said he met Jimmy in 1993 in New York.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I just didn't. I haven't watched a lot of some Conan, but not a lot. But just wasn't familiar with him, and just these little clips that he's been putting out. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll have to do him.
Yeah. Ask him to come on.
So Magic Matt did join. Hey, Magic Matt and TL Pedals. Tim is in the house. And Tim, yesterday night, my shipping label went from going to get here on Monday to Saturday, and now today it went from Saturday to Monday. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We're waiting on the edge of our seat, though. All right.
Well, is that a good segue to do what I was going to do, or you want to go guitar first? You want to go?
And I have you have a guitar of the day.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to, in keeping with the segment that you just did, I kind of want to follow that with another guitar of the day. And we didn't talk about this. But go ahead and talk about your guitar and make your screen big, and then I'll get that ready while you're doing that.
Are we double guitaring it today? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I don't have a physical one to hold up, but yes.
Oh, okay. All right. See, this is the amazing show prep we do. What do we want to do? I don't know. Let's hit the live button and figure it out. So this is a guitar that I got from one of my first guitar teachers for actually a little bit of nothing. It is a Giannini, and it is lovely. It has all of the appointments, all of the binding. I do have one little bump and dinkus on it that I'm not real happy about. I whacked it, I think, walking down the stairs one day. It is a 1974 Giannini AWN 300. So I've always wondered, because it is Brazilian made, could this maybe, possibly be Brazilian rosewood? I don't know. But it's even got all of the binding and abalone type inlay all through it. Like I said, pretty minty, except where I whacked it right there. Really old dead strings, but it's a cool guitar. Or Learned that from Conan O'Brien. So anyway, guitar of the day, Giannini, 1974, AWN 300. She is purty, especially that. This is another guitar that I could play backwards, sort of like my D35s. But that is beautiful. I don't know how I would actually figure out. I think because Martin stopped using Brazilian late 60s. But if it's from Brazil, does that matter? So this is another maybe guitar anti-Mythbusters. Can Brazil use Brazilian rosewood in 1974?
Sure.
It's there, right? It's there.
Is that how it works?
Yeah. You just say yes emphatically, and it becomes true. So anyway, we're really running low on guitars when I pull this one out, but there it is.
So let's follow that with an 1835. So kind of in keeping with your people that play guitar that you didn't know play guitar. So I was thinking about that earlier today. There was show prep and just kind of like browsing around to look at who plays guitar that didn't play guitar. And so there is a person that played an 1835 Martin guitar. And I have a picture of it.
But before you play, let me just see something real quick. I'm going to write something down. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead and show the picture.
No. Yeah. Go ahead. I just wanted to see if I guessed who it was. I wrote it down. Oh, I lose. Wow.
Yeah. So Mark Twain, whose older sister taught piano and guitar, and there's some probably more to the story, but apparently always traveled with a guitar, would entertain people with a guitar. And this is his 1835 Martin. And it is valued, I think, right now at about $15 million. It's still in existence.
Wow.
So somebody that I have never heard a story about Mark Twain playing guitar, but apparently that was a thing, and that was his guitar.
He played under a stage named Huckleberry Finn. Maybe you've heard of him.
Right. And it was after he died, it went to another family who was the son of one of the founders of the country, I think, or something like that. I just read the story earlier. I don't remember. It would come to me if I thought about the last name. I mean, it's a recognizable American last name from our history.
George Washington?
After that, it stayed in that family for like 4 generations and then was bought by a collector. And somebody that has something to do with Mark Twain. So anyway,
that's amazing. Somewhere maybe Brody jumped in and said 67 was Martin's last year of Brazilian. I'm pretty sure that's true too, because that was my birth year, and that's why I was saying I thought it was late 60s. But Brody and I, when I was visiting him, we went to a guitar store in Franklin. Where Brody, what year was that guitar that you played that they had there that was in like its original crazy like coffin case, smaller body? It was super, super early on. Because I want to say
that it has the original coffin case and it's hand signed by Mark Twain on it. What does an 1835 coffin case look like? It doesn't look like.
It's kind of squared off, and I don't remember. It wasn't like quite wood, I guess, but it was because they had the original case at this place, and I swear it was like 1876. I because Martin was established in 1833, right? Is that what it is? Am I making that up? If I had my Martin shirt on, I could tell you for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, Brody said 1895, and that was not the price.
Apparently, TL pedals has some problems too. I've heard other people having problems with streams freezing and stuff lately. That like everybody being at home is breaking the internet. Apparently,
is that what Ben Combs was saying the other night or on Facebook? Yeah. James
Severin, hey man, what's up? So anyway, yeah, that's the Mark Twain. So one of the things we asked the other day, we asked people. We said if you had we were showing I think Brian Landreth and Ben's pedal board, and then we said, all right, go ahead, send your pedal boards over. Let's take a look at some people's pedal boards. And I put a little post out on Instagram, Facebook today. And we got a couple. So we have Pete Hickson's. He sent us, and Pete sent us, I think, what is there, Pete? You're in the chat. There's 3 different pedal boards in your jam, and basically, for context, the jam room So I think that's pretty cool. Let's just we'll flip through them and then in the chat. So as we put these up, because we don't know everything about them, but Pete is here in the chat. So if you have a question, put it in the chat so we can ask Pete. Let Pete respond. Don't ask him to email you the answer.
Right. Or call you or text you.
Right. But it's early in the morning there. Give the guy a break. So let's start. Where do we start here, Pete? Let's start with this picture. So we're going to flip through Pete's stuff here. Here we go, Pete. I wonder if I can make that bigger. Give me 1 second. I might not be able to. Oh, look at that. Look at me. So that looks like a quilter on the top, right? Maybe from what I'm seeing. Yeah. One of those little quilter amps. I was just talking to somebody earlier today that got one of those and really likes it. Down here on the board, this Voodoo Octave, I'm thinking is Joyo. I've seen that before. Actually, I've been interested in that because that's a fuzz pedal with an octave up on it, and I like that. Same hardwire pedal that we have for the tremolo. That's the from that same Digitech hardwire series that our tremolo pedals from. See anything else in there, Pat, that jumps out you? You know what it is?
The hardwire.
That's a tuner, but that's like our tremolo. Same series.
Yeah. But the smaller dude.
Right. Pete said when mates ride bikes and don't bring gear, they have something to use. Good. Yeah, man. Cool. That's looks like one of those. Is it Malik? It starts with an M. I've seen that before. I can't tell you what. I can guess time space is probably delay, but I can't tell you what that is. So there's picture number 1 from Pete. Picture context jam room. So he has plenty of stuff to make some sound. Like Joyo speaker cabinets. Joyo's going to be a running theme today. I have a feeling.
It is. Yes.
You probably should have. Well, all right. Let's just go.
It's okay. It's all
right. The suspense.
That's the same one, right?
Looking at yet, right?
Yeah.
Just a little better picture.
True story.
Here we go.
Pete said the blue delay on the other one was cool, but great. Oh, I see something very familiar on that one.
Right. There's a pedal on here that we had on the show earlier, and that would be the Boyang Tri Reverb. And so we've talked about like some of the times cheaper pedals can be really good, and if you need a good reverb pedal with like a spring, a hall, I think it has 3 settings: spring, hall, and I feel like there's something else in there, maybe room. But that's a fantastic reverb for the price. Not even for the price; it's a fantastic reverb. Yeah. Booster.
Got plenty of buffer pedals on there. 3 bosses.
Yeah. Boost, phaser, distortion, super overdrive, delay. Tremolo.
What's those silver one up in the corner? What is that?
Up here?
Almost. Yeah, there we go.
It looks like an ABY switch. Maybe he's going out to 2 amps.
Gotcha.
And then I think there's one more picture he sent us. This is probably like that travel board, right?
Oh, yeah. That's the motorcycle board, right?
This is the motorcycle board, right? You can put it in your bag in your motorcycle. Rat. I think that says vintage phaser. So Mooer electric E-Lady. What do you think, E-Lady? I'm going to go with a fuzz, right?
Yeah, or would that be a vibe, maybe?
No, maybe. And then a delay pedal. So cool, man. So there's Pete's boards. Any questions for Pete?
He said the Joyo cabs are the same as Harley Benton. He said the Coco booster is a great light gain, and then he said that one pedal is a splitter. When I asked about. But what is the when you say E-Lady? What is the E-Lady pedal, Pete?
Yeah, and we've talked about like
flanger. Okay.
It would have been so cool when I was first starting to play guitar to be able to pick up some pedals like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right.
That's cool.
That is really cool. So we have there's a couple other boards that were shared with us on Facebook, but I think in keeping in kind of tune with what Pete has here and some of the pedals he has and the cabinets and stuff, maybe we should do that other thing first.
Yeah.
All right.
Before I do that, I forgot to tell you, I have the original Catholic nun guitar strap that goes with the nylon strings with a little hook that I don't know how to put it on without choking myself. And the Giannini also has its original case. I feel like we should have its own theme song for "We Have the Case," you know. But I saw that sitting on the bed. I pulled that out on purpose. So, and NPD and GD, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to open it because it's going to make noise when I'm opening it. 1 second, please. We don't need a noise, Pete.
And
so, go ahead.
Yeah. So while you're opening that, this is the result of a video that we did earlier.
Yes.
And then somebody who saw that reaching out to us, right?
Yeah. So this is probably going to be blinding. It is the Joyo, or Joyo. Some people say Joyo. We're going to say Joyo Vision pedal. So it was pretty cool. So we have a new relationship with Joyo, at least one of their representatives that has the official store on Amazon. Like Jason said, they came across the demo we did for that wireless power.
Yeah, the battery power.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen that video or haven't seen that yet, it's like a pedal power 2 kind of thing, right? Where you have 8 jacks and you have different milliamps on it and stuff, but it also has a battery in it, so you can charge up the battery and its battery pack. It's not that expensive. Don't ask me if it's truly isolated power or not. It says isolated power on, but I'm not one of those guys like Dave or Tim that might know better if it's truly isolated or not. But I'll tell you, it holds a charge for a long time. It sounds good. If you're going to a blues jam or something, it's nice not to have to plug into an outlet somewhere. You can throw your pedal board down, flip the switch, and if you want to charge your phone, you can. So there you go.
I will make a comment right out of the gate. Zero swag in the Joyo stuff, but just had to say it. But here it is. It's a really interesting pedal. They kind of gave us a couple options initially of what we wanted. And because we're doing, yes, I'm wearing the same shirt twice, 2 days in a row, but I only wore it for the show yesterday because I knew we're going to talk about it. Yeah, that's right. That was the closest one to the bed. It was on the floor, probably. It's really cool because it's a it's like a dual modulation pedal. It's got two completely independent sides, and it has a mod phaser, a chorus, flanger, ring mod, trem, tri-chorus that you can run either just one half or you can run both half. You can run them, parallel. It's really wild. It reminds me a little bit about the delay pedal we were talking about yesterday with Colt Westbrook. That pedal could like feed one delay into another. This can feed one modulation pedal into another one. So literally came 10 minutes before the show started. Have not plugged it in yet, but pretty excited about.
And you can flip that. You can do one side into the other, or you can run it in parallel, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
So speed, control, depth, mix, and then any one of the effects.
Are the effects the same on both sides, or are they different?
I believe they are exactly the same. One moment, please. Let's put these back on.
You're making a spectacle.
No. No, they are different. I lied. The one side has the optical trem. Oh my gosh. Low bit, like a kind of a glitchy thing. An auto wah, an analog phaser, an octave, a stutter, and a vibrato. So this side of the pedal a little bit more adventurous. It's almost like this side of the pedal was made by Earthquaker. So yeah, gonna be fun to play with it. We'll figure out what practically comes out of it, but
stereo on the back.
Yeah, I mean it's got lots of diagrams.
Oh, he has the manual.
Mm-hmm. I didn't throw it away yet because I'm going to learn to speak Chinese on the back here. So yeah, it's got a lot going on.
So that rechargeable pedal thing, Tim said rechargeable power supply is totally isolated when not charging.
Okay.
Like a battery.
And most of the time we're running it.
The individual, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. So it has, what does it have, 5 or 8? Kind of feel like it had 8.
Yeah, bring yourself back in. They don't want to see me anymore.
I kind of feel like it had 8 different spots. Some of them are 100 milliamp. Some of them are more than 100 milliamp. All 9 volt. There might be one that's you can switch between like 18 and 12, or maybe there's a 12. I don't know. But for what it is, and I mean, we literally have charged that and done like filmed 5 or 6 videos. Flip it on when we start filming. Flip it off when we're done. And then if it does die, it's not a big deal. You just plug it in and you can run it while it's plugged in. So,
which I don't think it's died on us yet. We've rolled that die many times.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the back of that like little mini board that's sitting back on the amp right now. Actually, we can.
While you're doing that, I'm going to give Tim bonus points for making a reference to yesterday's show. I think when I was just talking about the 2 sides of the Joyo, he said they're both from the same mother, though, right?
Right. Similar mothers.
Yeah, that's right.
So, like a little wooden mini board that we used to use a lot. I'm not sure we're going to use it as much anymore when we're filming, but if I go to a blues jam or something, it's nice to throw a couple pedals on, and then on the back of it, there's a rat's nest. But that's what we're talking about. The power supply 5. Okay, so there's 5, and it has outputs 1, 2, 3 are 500 milliamps, 4 is 100 milliamps, 5 is 100 milliamps, 6 is 100 milliamps, and 7 is 100 milliamps. Those are all. No, it's not 5. There's 8. So 1 through 3 are 500, and 4 through 7 are 100. Those are all 9 volt, and then there is another one that is either 9, 12, or 18 volts. And
we've had a request for full screen while you're talking about that.
And then we flip it on. You pop the pedal on.
Those lights are great.
There's a spot. One of these sides is a spot to plug it into the wall. And I think, is it over here? There's a USB. No, over here. There's a USB thing for it too.
And you could defeat the lights, right? Like you could.
There's a little button there that you can turn the lights. But why would you want to? Because when you're in a dark stage, it shines up blue underneath.
And they're blue. Brian Lander's asking how much they are. Are they like $70, $60, $70?
I'm not sure. That sounds
not more.
Right. 70.
Not more than that,
but just why we have it over here. Right. That's a good looking front of a pedal board right there.
That's right.
Got my Boss buffer.
Yeah, we don't always feature people's pedals that have been on the show, but mostly. We'll slap a TL pedal on the end of that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever.
Yeah. Well, and I haven't touched that thing because that's what I used before I sent the telly out to Chris, which he told me 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is tomorrow. So, Chris, if you're listening, where's the telly? Before I sent the telly out, because I like did the pre-recording of the way it was. So that I haven't touched that amp or that pedal board since then because I want to have it be the exact same when I record the other half of it. Could afford to and run a big board, he says. It's probably not as good as like the Walrus or the Voodoo Lab or any of those, but it's still pretty cool. What did you?
I plugged in the Joyo and I was trying to hold it up high enough to say, "Oh, why does it keep going out?" It lights up blue, which I definitely like. I just don't know why it keeps cutting out. But
if it lights up blue,
right? And it's almost like even around the back of it, you see how it lights up? Yeah, it just keeps going out. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, there we go. No one's ever going to confuse me with a professional. But
there you go on Amazon, $69.
Yeah.
So how good does it have to be? I guess it's
right. Practically a throwaway, right?
No, when I'm ready for what we talked about last night. Okay, I'll do that, Brian. I did. Well, we'll talk. I need to reach out to you anyway. I'm trying to think. Yesterday all blended together, but I did talk to Rocky from the Blue Society today. If that's what we're talking about, so I need to kind of talk to Brian about that, and hopefully next week we'll do something with those guys in the stream. So, the other pedal boards that were shared with us today. One of our friends, actually a local guy that Pat knows, I've got to know through the show, Mike Holbrook, shared 2 pedal boards with us on Facebook today. And I don't think Mike's ever in the chat. I'm not sure that he's around at this time to be able to do that.
It's Matt Holbrook, but his friends call him Skip, actually.
Matt Holbrook.
You're thinking of Mike Roadblock.
Yeah. So Matt said here too.
He pops in and out, but he was the one that gave us the $1 million question about the stage lights or the studio lights yesterday that led to our deep, dark rabbit hole about Joe Exotic. But anyway.
Right. And so here's the 2 that he shared with us.
He's got some nice gear. We're trying to get him on because he's got quite the Les Paul collection as well.
This one. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger again. I could get rid of that writing on the side. There we go. That's a little better, isn't it?
That's interesting. I guess I've never really seen the BCB 60 because where the tuner is, it's pretty cool. The tuner's up there. I've never really seen that before. Because I think the original one was like the BC 6 or something like that. It was just the 6 pedals. But
what do you think? I'm thinking this is tap tempo over here.
Where are you?
On the.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, probably.
Because I do see an extra cable in the DD7, so I'm thinking that's a tap for the DD7.
Right.
Not sure what this stray cable is down here.
Was that an analog man modded G7?
Equalizer, yeah. So everything is like Boss, and then he mods it? I don't know. I'm pretty impressed.
I don't know, because if he does that, I'll send him something. I don't know what you do to an equalizer, but I'll send him this one.
I mean that's it's really cool if you think about it, right? Look at that overdrive and distortion pedal. Which ones are those?
It's the OD1.
It's an OD1X and a DS1X.
Well, I don't know.
Have they been? Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Where's Josh Scott when you need him?
So anyway, that's the first board he sent us. And so I got to figure out how to close it when I've made it so big. And then the second board he sent us, looks like this. I thought this was interesting too, right?
Yep.
So looks like volume pedal, Strymon tap or favorite.
A little different flavor, right?
Right. Polytune tucked down in there. The SP compressor. Is that the compressor? The SP by Exotic?
I don't think that's the boost. I think that's a compressor, a mini compressor. And then what's the Keeley next to it?
That might be the boost. The red dirt Keeley, I can't tell what the blue Keeley is. The tube screamer that actually has the little nano tube in it, the Mobius, which I've always that's like a pedal that would have fit into all the series we've done. But, we just haven't spent $400 or $500.
Well, he said we could have borrowed it, but I think we'd have to have a PhD to use it.
Right. Plus mess up all his presets. And then the Strymon Dig, which is not a Strymon that you see on a ton of boards. Mm-hmm. That's one of the lesser known ones. It's a digital delay, I believe. And then the EP booster at the end. So I'm kind of feeling like that's. Does anybody know with that SP Exotic? Is that the compressor? I thought it was the SL. Was like the. I think I had an SL for a while. Tim said that the X's are Waza. I thought the Waza pedals said Waza on them. I don't know.
The SP is a mini drive. Tim said.
Okay, SP is a mini drive. So I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I like this. I like looking at what people put on because there's a lot of that same kind of flavor that everybody's going for. Like, well, here's some drive and here's some delay and here's some modulation. It's interesting to see. I mean, I didn't even mention the huge EQ pedal. So Matt, right? Really likes to have the EQ pedal. He had that on both, some version of an EQ pedal on both rigs.
Right.
I just find it easy. I find it really interesting what people put on. And then the mix between expensive and not so expensive and inexpensive, right? You can get some of the same sounds and stuff, and I don't know, find it interesting. It's a whole lot of pedals coming out of a whole lot of cables coming out of that. Oh no, it's not. One's probably for the tuner. The tuner's probably running off the Boss pedal, right? So he's probably running a volume pedal and then a tuner out.
Mm-hmm.
Brian said, since the other day, he's become a tuner addict. Well, don't get that Mobius in your hands, man, because that thing can do crazy stuff.
Yeah, he's got some really nice stuff. We've talked about having him on, doing an episode with him because he has quite the Les Paul collection. He's a big Les Paul fan. Although he's got some PRSs and he plays. I showed my mates the Transatlantic 30. I think he had a TA 30 as well. He's got a good eye for gear for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, kind of interesting. I mean, hopefully we can get some more. If you're in the chat right now and you didn't send us your pedal board, we're not playing the roast your board game. Like I know there's people that do that, like roast my board, some of your board, and I'll roast it. We're not playing that. I think Tim summed it up. No two boards are ever alike, and you get a lot of great ideas from seeing how people run it. Interesting on this board right here. For years, when I was playing in that kind of blues jam thing, that pedal board, I used these exact same monster patch cables. And now they were in that position for so long on that board. Now they're like, you can't use them anywhere else because they won't bend right. Yeah. So definitely send some pictures over. You can post them. There's a Facebook. We made a Facebook post about this. So you can put them in the comments. You can send them to us via the Facebook Messenger. Send them to us via the Instant Messenger and Instagram. You can email them to pjandthebeardguitars at gmail.com. But we'd love to put your board up and talk about it. So,
yep.
My board, Brad says his board is boring other than he cut it on a CNC machine and bent on a hydraulic press. We have a metal shop at the school I teach at. I've been really considering, like, if I can't get myself, oh my gosh, I always forget the name of those boards. Pat, you remember?
The one from the guitar show?
No, the board out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The ones from that pedal show.
That pedal show uses them. Josh Smith uses them.
Tim from Hampstead had one too.
Smith Array. Yeah.
You're welcome. Schmidt. Yeah, you're welcome.
Maybe I can get the guys over at the metal shop at school to build me one. So, I think that was it, right? Or was there one more?
Did he send you 3?
He sent 2. Oh no, Matt Wellendorf, who I don't know Matt, but through the show, he's friend, following the page and stuff. So this is Matt's board. Look at that. Barber Electronic Direct Drive.
Yeah.
So shout out to him for that. That looks like a version 4 Barber Electronic Direct Drive. He said in the comments on that, and you can go read the comments if you want, and comment on it. It's on the Facebook page, PJ and the Beard on Facebook. He said that he was running, I think, one of the other direct drives for like years and just recently bought that, and he really likes the 4-hole option, which didn't Dave talk about how there was an option in the settings for like an amp with a 4-input amp. We'll have to go back and look at it, or if Dave's in the house, he can correct us on that. But he really likes that option. He said he might go back to his original one someday, but he was really digging this one that he just put on. Of course, has the Vibe machine. Anybody else using the barefoot pedal
buttons? All right.
Yeah, that's an MXR Timmy. And he did. He said this is, depending on the gig, this is the board. And then I guess sitting off to the side, he has a Strymon Flint. So depending on the gig and what he has, he'll put that Flint on for reverb and tremolo. But yeah, two carbon. I mean, a Timmy, a direct drive. That's. I mean, I'm sure that's all your drive covered. A Vibe Machine, awesome pedal. I think we had that as a pedal of the day a couple weeks ago. That looks like a version 1. And then a 6-band EQ, 2 carbon copies, and a Polytune. I mean, he's getting the job done.
Right.
Long delay, short delay. Just looking at the way the knobs are, it looks like he's doing a short delay and a long delay, and then
Tim asked in the chat, "What is everyone using for pedal boards?" Brian Lander said his is a rock board by Warwick. Like I said, I've got an ancient Furman SP8, and I also have like a monkey board, which is like a plexiglass clear board that lights up blue. Thank you. That's why I did it.
The little one is in a moon. Oh yeah, Pete. They still have that one up. The little one. I might have closed that picture, Pete. This little guy over here. The bottom right. Isn't on moon. Yeah, so anything else on that? So I've always made them.
Mm-hmm.
Like get out and start cutting wood and try. I've gotten more and more of interest, and I think my favorite one was like just the slab of wood that I did in a little box to go over the power supply that I did years and years ago. But I've been wondering if I should jump on the bandwagon of buying a pedal board at some point.
Well, who was the guy from the Philly show again? I forget.
Go Pedals. Go pedal board. So when we were at the Philly show, we met the guy that does these. And they look pretty nice. You know, they're bent, metal boards, and he has like all the accessories to fill them in, and they're all pre-drilled to put the accessories in and stuff. We met him.
Yep.
At different sizes and styles. But like somebody said earlier, everybody's pedal board is so different that it's hard to tell, right?
Mm-hmm. Tim said they're good.
No, you're fine. I was saying it's hard to like find. Your boards are so different, so to get something that's kind of custom for you out of something that's very standard, I don't know.
Tim from TL Pedals said there's a company in California making plywood CNC boards that look really rugged. Brian Lander said he's looking at a Harley Benton one. And then Brad Miller said his is a modified copy of a Holy board, which the very first time I saw a Holy board was from Know Your Gear. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Anyway.
Yeah. And this is the Cadillac. If people didn't know what we were talking about, there's the Cadillac.
The Schmidt array, yeah.
Like if you haven't just explored their pedal boards and looked at them at all, they are just gorgeous. But I mean, you could buy an amp.
You're right. Tim says someone needs to build a website for custom pedal boards like Vistaprint.
Nice. Yeah, these things, they look good. Lid fits right down over top of them. But again, they're pretty expensive. They're made in Germany, so to get them here in the United States, I think it's pretty expensive. So cool, man. Brad sent a couple pics to our Instagram. Brad, if you don't mind, we'll pull those up probably the next show, especially if they're on Instagram, because I'm going to have to pull them off and send them over here to where I can grab them on the computer. But we definitely will have them. We'll definitely pull them up and look at them, man. That's cool. Maybe that's another thing, man. The pedal board of the day, or the pedal board of. We could call it all your. We could call it Are You Bored?
Are you bored? An hour of distraction.
Cool.
Yeah, Bent Tom was saying a machinist could build a Schmidt array for a lot cheaper, which is kind of what Jason was saying about the machine, shop there.
Yeah, I wonder if I could give them a set of pictures and dimensions, and that they could. That's terrible, though. You steal somebody's idea and you do it cheaper. I don't know.
Just paying homage.
Right.
Pedal board of destiny. We get Jack. Well, I'll find out what Jack Black would play, and we'll use that one.
I saw earlier Tim mention having his daughter do some more mini pedals for all those mini boards. It's a good idea. Ben said the Schmidt array is more like a Bugatti. So we messed. I was thinking about this, Pat. We have missed an opportunity. And whenever we have the pedal manufacturers on, there's a question that we should have been asking in the chat that we have never asked, like directly. And maybe it's a missed opportunity. Maybe it's good that we haven't. I don't know. But I was wondering, who in here has Walrus pedals? Yesterday after we did the thing, I'm like, I wonder if any of those guys had Walrus pedals, if we should have asked them. So does anybody out there have a Walrus or use a Walrus pedal?
We do now. We're about to.
Well, and on that one pedal board of Skip's, Matt,
yes, very good.
I think he is powering one of them by a Walrus power supply that you couldn't see.
And he said he ran a Mayflower. I didn't even look up what was the Mayflower Walrus.
I think that is. I think that is a power supply.
Because yours is the Phoenix?
Mine is the Phoenix.
Okay.
I think the Mayflower is a power supply.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, Bent Tom was saying the Walrus audio show was killer. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, Colt was so much fun. And you get the bonus track of the Tiger King mixed in there. I went back and watched that because Skip didn't get to watch the show live, so I sent him the clip and told him where to start watching from. When he first started talking and I realized who he was going to mention, man, that was just hilarious. But anyway.
I'm wrong, by the way. The Mayflower is not.
Okay.
It's an overdrive.
Okay.
So. Yeah, Cole was a really nice guy, Ben. I was actually, I said to Pat, I was almost intimidated to reach out to him and ask him to do it because his profile, the picture we used on the JPEG and used on the Instagram post we did, the Facebook post, is his profile pic. And he's all like,
yeah, it was kind of hard.
I'm like, he's not going to want to talk to us. He doesn't look like he wants to talk to anybody.
That's right.
But he was cool. Yeah. That's the thing, man. We get these guys on, and then you want more of their stuff. Definitely. Are you playing with your pedal, Pat?
I am, because the power keeps whacking out. Sorry. Because I was going to just strum through whatever it's set at the end of the show. I was going to strum through, but the power comes on, everything lights up, and then it keeps flickering off. Sorry.
Is that your power supply?
Well, I'm using a Voodoo Lab pedal power. I don't know.
Yeah, the Julia. Actually, I gotta tell you, Ben. You look at their page, and it's not just the Julia.
I think was it Sweetwater that was kind of blowing out the Julia a little bit here recently?
They were blowing out of version 1.
Yeah.
They were blowing out version 1.
Don't be surprised if you see some more Walrus audio
Well, that Mako series D1 high fidelity stereo delay that he was talking about yesterday is definitely one that I would be very interested in. That was cool. They have a slow multi-texture reverb one too that's kind of does that angel pedal thing. That I think would be really cool for us. My gosh. And then there's just some other ones on there too that are just look really
right.
I have to admit, the Janus Fuzz tremolo with the joystick controls on it. I meant to ask him about that with the little joysticks. Like, what is that?
Like, were you running the bomb squad over there? What's happening?
Right. I don't know if people know what I'm talking about, but
no, I mean everybody in the chats like y'all are breaking me. You know, you guys are bankrupting me. We kind of feel the same way, right? Like we joked, we're bankrupting ourselves. This channel will never make a profit because we're just going to turn it into buying more gear.
Right. Well, and I mean, it is nice when you have like Joyo send you a free one, and DLS Effects. He typically sends us the pedal. He sent the tremolo and he sent the Leslie pedal for free,
and Fender.
There's Fender. There's a couple people that have helped out in that regard, but most of those Leslie pedals and the tremolo pedals we've bought, sometimes with a discount, sometimes used, sometimes scouring like. What dark hole can I find the guy that doesn't know what he has and will sell it to me cheap and
right
meet him in the.
I just got to go back real quick because when I said this, Tim said he could fix this for me, and he said he's modded lots of Joyos. Is there like a known power issue for Joyos? It's really strange because I have a Voodoo Lab pedal power. It's an older one, 1998, but it's the one I powered a board from.
Are you powering it with enough volts?
Well, I was trying not. I'm down this rabbit trail now, but I was trying to see what the requirement was, and maybe that was the problem. But I was trying not to do this while we were on the show, but I basically was because I started dorking around with the pedal. So
there's the joysticks. I don't know if you can really tell on that, but Pat, your mom just said hi.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be over for dinner later. It's a 2-block walk.
So, well, later. I mean, we're at 52 minutes already.
Right.
Another show about nothing.
So, Tim, I mean, I got to look at the owner's manual. Which, if I have to look at the owner's manual, I'm tapping out. But just to make sure that I'm doing it right. But so yeah. Anyway.
I would think that could be.
Could be. Especially because it's a dual pedal. I don't know. Who knows? I'll know shortly.
I wonder if it takes like maybe a 9-volt, but takes like 250 milliamps or something.
Right.
Which pedal power do you have?
The Voodoo Lab.
Pedal Power 2?
No, the OG.
Yeah. Because I have another Randy Rockstar purchase.
Yep.
Yeah, I have I have that same one, and I had to get another one because I mean that's more prevalent today to find those pedals that run at a higher milliamp.
I mean, it was built October 1st, 1998, so I am sure it is covering all the bases.
Tim says modulation pedals take way more juice than normal drives, so that could be.
Well, and I have to go back and look and see. I forget what these dip switches do on a pedal power.
The only time I think I've ever flipped one of those was for the Boss. On that version, on the first version, was for the Boss DM2 because it has that old style power coming out of it.
I mean, I'll try without blowing it up, but whatever. I'll figure it out.
True story. My dad's cousin won the Powerball lottery. He's addicted to bowling, so he built a bowling alley in his basement, but bought nothing else. No car, no house. That would be me. Just buy tires or whatever your thing is. All right. Well, question. Oh no, here we go. Brian saw the 55 mark hit, and so would it make sense to put a Lawler P90 in the bridge of a Strat, but keep the neck and middle single coils? He's just throwing this a bone because he probably has an answer to that.
Do me a favor. I was going to save this for another show, but you know how it's always said that everybody has a doppelganger on the planet. Jason, can you go find a picture of Jason Lawler real quick? I mean, if we're going to stretch this out, let's have a little fun here.
Answer Uncle Brian's question.
Well, that's what made me think of it because I have Jason Lawler. Well, we can look at a picture of Jason Lawler. Why we think about that?
I can't believe you're making me do this.
Well, because I can't. I don't think I can on my phone.
I'm trying to find the one that.
Who sent that to?
Our friend Nate, who works for Beard Guitars, but we met him through playing on Sunday, sent this picture. He said forever he's been telling us, I know you look like somebody, telling me I look like somebody. Well, he works for Beard Guitars, and Beard Guitars gets Lawler pickups in. And so the other day, was it yesterday?
A couple days, whatever. It's been the last several days. I was just like, wait, what? It's like
he sent this picture. This is the picture he sent.
We'll let you decide. You trim that a little bit. Well, you got way more hair than he does, but I just thought it was funny that.
Kind of.
I mean, it looks a little bit more. There you go. Oh my gosh, look, it's Jason Lawler. It's like one of those recreated pictures on Facebook or whatever. Yeah, between him and Lee Sklar. Jason Lawler, a.k.a. The Beard. That's right. We're going to sue him for intellectual property, and we're going to take over Lawler pickups. And then, Brian Landreth, you can have all the Lawler pickups you want.
And then you can test it out and see if it makes sense to put it in the. I don't know. I feel like I've seen P90s in the bridge with single coils. A P90 is a single coil.
Right.
All right. So I think we need to get Jason Lawler on the show, maybe?
I think you're right. I think you just sent him a picture. And
yes. Can we get him on the show and be like, hey, Jason, thanks for coming on the show. We were going to update a telly, and we were all set to put your pickups in it, and everybody talked us out of it. And Brian Landreth is actually the one that talks to the Texas telly.
Uh-huh. I was going to do it as a joke. I was going to interview Jason and tell him that I had Jason Lawler on the show. We'll just start out with that, but it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, if this quarantine goes much longer, Bob Bradshaw will look like Jason.
All right. So, yeah, Barbara said, yeah, P90 is a single coil. So, David, the question from Brian was, does it make sense to put a P90 in the bridge of a Strat and leave the other two single coils in there? That was the initial question. And I said, why not?
Right. Although you could just buy some twisted tellies.
Yes, I think you got to put a twisted telly in the bridge. Stop
saying on the street.
You're about ready to get in the car and drive over to Chris's and say, what's up?
Yeah, that'd be cool to get that back. I'm excited about the pickups, right? Because other than that PRS that still haunts me, that Ray Santana had, I don't think I've played anything else with Lawlers in it. So I'm curious to see, like with the telly, if the twisted telly sort of won that battle, to see what the difference in the original pickups are there and the Fender Custom Shop ones. And then I'm probably equally or more excited about the whole Bigsby part.
Yeah, I'm. Well, that clip of the day that we showed yesterday, that guitar that guy was playing had a Bigsby on it, and I was just like, ooh. I was thinking
that might have been, I think that might have been a Reverend. I forget. But that's another guy we should try to see if we can get on.
Brian said we don't like the twisted tellies, he'll buy them from us. You ought to see the price we got on them, Brian.
That's right. It's the nice price. It's the same price I'm going to pay for dinner in about an hour.
All right. Well, we got 20 seconds to wrap this bad boy up today. Today's Friday. We'll be on tomorrow. There's some things in the works. Still working with Bobby. Hopefully, maybe another thing. next week. I don't know. There's things in the work, but I don't have anything in stone yet. We're still working on the anti-myth episode.
Bent Tom said Fralin. I do have. That's another one. If I get, speaking of Chris, I have an original PRS EG2. Maybe it has the Lindy Fralin dominoes in it.
There you go. Twisted Telly pickups in the Shore Telly this week at Kills.
Okay. Well, we didn't know they had a Shore Telly. Well, look at you, David Barber. I can't wait to come down to your place and just like crack open cases and open random drawers and just be like, "What you got?"
Well, there went that fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you probably had to have me patted down on the way out the door, but whatever.
Interview Lindy too. I had thought about that too because he's kind of he's a little bit south of us, Virginia, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's it, man. Let's wrap it up. Thanks everybody for coming in. We appreciate it. We love that you hang out with us. It's awesome. And
we'll remind you again, but Sunday night, 8 p.m. We're going to be on with Ben Combs, right?
Oh yeah.
We can't book any guests, but we're being booked as a guest for somebody else. So it's kind of the same thing, but not really.
Send those pedal boards. Send some pictures.
Yeah.
All
right. Because I couldn't get the Joyo to power up properly, you're going to get the rock and roll Giannini guitar. So with that, I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. Fretting out. Don't fret.
That was the Tim 10. Go sub the Brian Landreth channel.
Yes.
Sub ours too if you done it. Have a good day, guys.